Welcome back, everyone. This is a special episode because just this past Saturday, we had DC FANDOME. And I sat there and watched the whole thing, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. And boy, did this event not leave me disappointed. I was pumped up, especially how they ended it. And there were so many good trailers, so many good teases, so many good panels. And I gotta say, Zachary Levi, he's so passionate about Shazam. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just put the DC EU on notice and was my favorite panel by far. But Kev, what was the most epic thing to come out of DC FANDOME on Saturday?
There was a lot of good things. I unfortunately I didn't get to watch it in its entirety. I decided to spend the day with my wife and my mother, but rushed home for the very end. But I was able to catch Wonder Woman panel, which I thought was fantastic, and loved the new trailer.
Yeah, we were on the phone for that one too. It was right from the get-go.
So excited for this new movie. I love the first Wonder Woman. This one, I'm even more excited for.
Especially because with the panels they had with Wonder Woman, even with like the little games they did, and how they had Patty Jenkins, like she was on with Venus Williams, and just the whole like hype they're pushing for Wonder Woman, and just to see how excited and and thrilled the whole cast is for this movie, it makes me more pumped up.
Oh yeah. I'm glad everybody's back.
And I didn't even know Pedro Pascal is going to be Maxwell Lord, which is really exciting.
Sorry, I'm all stuffed up. Super stoked that he's a part of it. I love Pedro Pascal, and playing Maxwell Lord. Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. Looks incredible. Yeah. Cheetah looks really, really great. The fight sequences look amazing. When we were on the phone, I was saying how I loved how, and I don't know if it's because it takes place in the 80s, so the color palette obviously has changed. Everything's a lot brighter and more vibrant, and I love that. Her suit's a lot more vibrant than we've seen before. So we're super pumped about that. I'm just going to go down the list to like the thing that I love the most, if that's okay.
Well, we could talk about, we could, break it down slowly and just talk about it. Cause like for Wonder Woman, like I still want to talk about more about that. Cause like you said, how they made Dr. Minerva look, her before Cheetah, is straight out of the comic book. Like pre-Cheetah, pre-Cheetah. She looks so good. Like I was just reading Wonder Woman Rebirth, and it's got Dr. Minerva in it. It's very heavy with her, and just seeing how she looks on the comics I'm reading, plus what they had in the trailer, I'm just like, oh, like Patty Jenkins and whoever did the costume design, the vision, they had it, they nailed it, put it right on TV for everyone. It's so good.
Very, very excited for this movie. It just looks like a big, fun film. I love the chemistry between Chris Pine and Gal.
Yeah.
It was fantastic in the first one, and it just looks like it's gonna continue to be just as amazing in the sequel. So that just looks like a really, really fun movie. I cannot wait for that to come out. And then the next thing I was going to bring up, unless you have anything else to say about Wonder Woman.
Gal Gadot is incredible too as Wonder Woman. Like they nailed the casting, and you can tell she's passionate about it, and she bleeds Wonder Woman. So it's such a relief to have such a a powerful actress play such a powerful character and be such a good role model to so many people by just taking on the mantle of Wonder Woman.
Yes, she just seems like such a sweet, caring person. Like I can't imagine her like getting mad at anybody, but she does. She brings something to the Wonder Woman character that I does it justice, no pun intended. So I can't wait for this movie. I'm very, very excited for this film. And then I wanted to discuss. I got a chance finally to watch the full Gotham Knights trailer. Oh. Well, if you want to segue into the video game portion, I know you would probably love to do that right now. And that looks like an incredible game. I only have one gripe, and it's kind of, you know, it's kind of a silly gripe maybe. My one gripe is that, well, first off, I'm so stoked that they're introducing the Court of Owls because it's one of my favorite storylines. But I think, and of course, we haven't played the game yet, so I don't know what could happen, what could and couldn't happen in the game. But I always wanted to see Batman go against the Court of Owls. So maybe we'll get that. Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he's not dead either, but maybe we'll get it in a theatrical version, which I would love.
Yeah.
But it looks like a beautiful game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, visually stunning, and it just looks like it's just going to be a lot of fun.
That's the main thing. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It's 4-player multiplayer, so you can be you and 3 friends can play as Jason Todd as the Red Hood, Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, Tim Drake as Robin. I keep trying to say Red Robin, but I got to hold back because it's just Robin in this. And then Dick Grayson as Nightwing. And I just can't wait to get a hold of Red Hood, Jason Todd. And I had a lot of fun with him in Justice 2, and I can't wait to see his fighting style. The next one is Batgirl. Her fighting style, is so methodical and fun, just based off the trailer. And, Robin's going invisible and flying here and there and teleporting and stuff. I'm like, dude, this is awesome.
It looks great.
The downside is, in quotes, Batman's dead. But I have a feeling he's not. And I thought it was going to be, a sequel to Arkham Knight because how, the Batcave and Bruce Wayne's mansion explodes at the end. But it's not, because this Commissioner Gordon is dead, but in the Arkham games, he's alive still. And I'm trying to think what else they said that kind of pushes towards that it's not after Arkham Knight. But I was hoping they would do a sequel. I think Rocksteady's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is the same universe. I'm not 100% sure. But, dude, I think it's cool. There's tag team moves. The battle leading up to Freeze and that boss battle looks sick.
It looked great.
And that whole beginning where it's like the news reports saying there was an explosion. There's Bruce Wayne is, and it stops.
And then it cuts. Yeah.
And then the first person who gets the decrypt the code black decryption is Jason Todd. I knew it was him. He had the scar. He looked like he's been through a lot. And he's like, okay. And that whole monologue just gave me chills. And it was so excited for this.
It was great. Now that Robin is Tim Drake. It's not Damian. It's definitely Tim Drake.
Yeah, it's not Damian.
Okay, I figured it was Tim. I wasn't sure though. And that actually, those questions that you were kind of unsure about, I was going to ask you because I know WB Montreal, they had originally their prior Batman game was Arkham Origins, which I loved, and I feel like not a lot of people talk about the one, but I thought it was a fantastic game. Did you ever get a chance to play that?
No, I never did.
It was one I to be honest with you, Arkham City was my favorite, and then Arkham Origins was my second. And I feel like that's kind of an unpopular opinion. But I really enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the fighting style. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the look. There's a really cool sequence where you're in the GCPD and you got to go stealth and taking police out. It's really sick. Maybe nowadays that's not a good thing to say it that way, but it's really fun and cool in the game.
You just up their sales a little bit. People are gonna go do that real quick.
I know. All of a sudden, everybody's like, Arkham, oh my god, yeah, we got to do that now. And I don't want to get political with any of that kind of stuff, but it's a really, really fun game, really fun Batman game. So I didn't know if this Gotham Knights game was spinning off of that because that was their previous product.
I don't know, actually. I don't know if it's going to go off of Origins. I don't think so. I think it's a one-off. And I think it's a great idea for a one-off because, you get to have people play, 4 characters that they might not be familiar with. And it shows off their fighting style, probably their personalities. And, especially because, if Batman was in it, people would be like, oh, I just want to be Batman. I just want to be Batman. But now you get to play, it's Robin, Red Hood, Batgirl, and Nightwing, and it just looks so fun.
I think it's cool. And I know I said that gripe earlier just because I love the Court of Owls story, and I've loved to have seen Bruce basically I like the whole storyline of Thomas Wayne wasn't this clean cut guy that we all thought he was, and then Bruce realizing that maybe his father like lied to him,
Yeah.
for the short amount of time that he was able to be in Bruce's life, and his father had this dark past. I really love that concept, so I would have loved to have seen that in the game, but maybe we'll get it in a movie.
Yeah.
Keep my fingers crossed. But I think, like you said, playing as these four characters, these are four great characters, really fun characters. And like, why not switch it up? Like, if you want to play as Batman, the cool thing is you have those previous Batman games. You can play as Batman in 4 other games.
Yeah.
This one is just like, hey, you could play as the rest of his family. Have your pick. So it is really cool, and I think it's good that they switched it up. I think they needed to change stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks fun to me.
And then to add, there's 4 more characters you can play in 2022 when the Suicide Squad to kill the Justice League comes out. And dude, that trailer, it was fun and quirky from the beginning. Captain Boomerang, you got King Shark, Harley Quinn, and Deadshot, and those are your 4 characters to play in that game. And I was pumped because I was hoping the whole time that King Shark would be available in the game as well. And they did it. And it's voiced by, which I learned today, which now that, like, once I saw it, I'm like, yes, that's his voice. There's a WWE wrestler, Samoa Joe, who I've watched through his old, like, TNA, and now he's in WWE. He's wrestled around the world, and they casted him as King Shark, and it's
that's cool.
My god, I'm like, that's like, his voice is perfect for it. It sounds so good.
That's so cool.
I want to talk about the moment they're jumping around, flying around, looks fun, killing brainiacs, lackeys per se, or mindless drones, or whatever you want to call them, and then you see something smack a helicopter. You see a silhouette of Superman holding a guy, and Harley Quinn saying, "Hey, tights, get out of here. We're on a mission." And Superman murders this man in cold blood with his eyes, and you see the pink Brainiac, like, coloration in his eyes. And they're like, Captain Boomerang comes and he goes, "All right, so do you know we're killing yet?" And they just all point to Superman. He goes, "Ah, fuck." It's so good.
It's a great trailer, man. It definitely gets it lets you know the vibe of the game. Yeah. Like, this is what you're going to get. And, like, when I'm thinking of a Suicide Squad game, like, I want to see just bonkers craziness, a lot of comedic moments. Like, that's what I want to see in a Suicide Squad game. And that trailer let you know, like, this is what you're going to be getting when you play this.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks awesome.
It doesn't take itself seriously. And, it's just mayhem off the bat. And that's what I want. It looks great. I think it's going to be fun battling each of the Justice League members. Like, which members are we going to be fighting as, like, boss battles? And how is that going to go? Like, how do they just fight the Flash? I know Boomerang, for some reason, I mean, I've never seen any comics with him that he teleports, but he can, like, teleport with his boomerangs.
I saw that in the trailer. They showed it in the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Boomerang. Him teleporting?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that was,
maybe that's his way
to.
Yeah, maybe that's his way to combat, the Flash. His name is George now instead of Digger. If any of you have known him as George, let me know. I have not seen any iteration of him as George. Especially coming from, like, Australia, down south. Like, I feel like George isn't a popular name. I feel like Digger's a great name. George is more American than anything, but I guess...
Yeah, Digger sounds more like down under than George. George, I think, lives down the hall from me. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's sort of random. I don't know, unless he was known as George for a while, and now they're like, we're giving him his original name back.
Or maybe his name's actually George, and just everyone else calls him, like, Digger in the comics.
Digger? I don't know. That I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I've only known him as Digger. So
yeah,
I don't know. So from there, dude, what else would you like to talk about?
I gotta talk about my boy on this hat, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, totally slaying it in his panel for Black Adam. They had Boss Logic and Jim Lee, I believe it was Jim Lee who did it as well, collaborate on like this motion comic
Yeah,
for like to
cool.
tease the the intro to Black Adam, and also when they introduce the JSA characters that are going to be in this film. The presence Dwayne has with the way he commands the microphone and the screen, I have chills right now just thinking back on it, because when I watched him the whole time, it was like watching him when I was younger, say the sickest promos in wrestling history I've ever watched in my life to this day. And he just knows how to speak. He knows how to hype things up, and he knows how to make you just get so energetic, so hyped up. And that's why he's the most electrifying man in entertainment, because he's just brilliant when it comes to anything entertainment. I'm like, can this come out now? They announced Dr. Fate. They announced Hawkman. They had cast Atom Smasher, and then I forget who the fourth JSA member was, but just having Dr. Fate and Hawkman on the big screen is so exciting.
It's cool, man. I'm excited to see them. I'm excited to see a live action version of Dr. Fate and Hawkman. Hawkman, I'm very familiar with. Dr. Fate, unfortunately, I'm familiar with Dr. Fate, not as much as Hawkman. I don't really know too much about the background of Dr. Fate. I had, even prior to this Black Adam announcement and the other characters that were going to be involved, I had looked up like Dr. Fate. Like I forget, for some random reason. I think I was just kind of curious about him, and his backstory was really interesting. Have you ever looked up his backstory at all? And Atom Smasher, I've never even heard of Atom Smasher.
No.
I'll be straight up with you. So it would be cool to get some new DC characters involved, and why not introduce them in something like Black Adam? Because I feel as if Black Adam, I mean, you and I know who Black Adam is, who Black Adam is, but I would say the majority of moviegoers probably don't. Almost similar to and ironically, they're arch enemies, Shazam and Black Adam, but yeah, I feel like a majority of people didn't really know who Shazam was.
Yeah.
But then when you bring in the number one Hollywood movie star in the world right now, The Rock, everybody's gonna go, I don't really care who Black Adam is, but The Rock's in a superhero movie. Oh, I mean, come on, everyone's gonna flock to this thing. Everybody.
And I'm
really excited.
I'm excited because he's like, we're staying true to this. Like, superheroes have their justice, and Black Adam goes by his. He does what he deems necessary, whether it's killing, whether it's not, to, protect conduct and, deliver what he believes is right. And that's where, I'm excited because he did tease, Superman, which maybe Henry Cavill, because, Superman's form of justice is giving people hope and, throwing people in jail and making them serve their time. Black Adam, if you're trying to attack him or attack, his country, he's going to deliver vengeance and justice at the same time. And you might not make it out of that fight alive. And it's going to be cool to see how the JSA and Black Adam, go head to head. I'm assuming maybe they might be enemies in this. They might be working together. But I think it's going to be cool if they are working together to see how, Black Adam handles things as opposed to the JSA, and how that's going to create some conflict.
I always saw a little bit of a correlation between Black Adam and Zod. Two beings who felt very strongly about where they came from, and they're going to do whatever means necessary for their people.
Yeah.
And I think, the Rock did say they're Black Adam, which I guess Black Adam in a way was kind of like an anti-hero-ish.
Yes.
But it sounds like they're going to kind of go that route, which I'm super excited for. I'm excited for because it's just they're just characters that we've never really got a chance to see in live action before, and I'm pumped to see that and have these characters introduced to the world, because these are really interesting characters. So I'm really, really excited, and just to see The Rock, like, it's about time he did a superhero movie. And I'll tell you what, man, if I do not see Henry Cavill and The Rock face off,
I want to see Black Adam, rock bottom Superman in a fight. That's all I care about. If I see that, I'll just throw money at that movie. I'll go watch it 18 times. I'll just go back for that one scene and just say $20. $20. There's the tip. $20. It's probably like $15 ticket. $20 tip. There, fine. Take $5, please. Just take my money. I want it.
I have a little bit of a theory. And you let me know if I'm crazy for thinking this, or maybe I'm onto something. My theory is, so the film Black Adam, I don't think you're gonna overshadow it, or I should say overshadow the other JSA characters by introducing Superman in this. What I think they're gonna do is it's a Black Adam movie, so you're really gonna focus on Black Adam. You're gonna introduce Dr. Fate, Atom Smasher, and Hawkman. I believe at the end they're gonna somehow tie in Shazam, Superman, and Black Adam. I feel like we had that in the first Shazam with Superman.
Yes.
Superman, not Henry Cavill, but a Superman appearing at the end of Shazam. And I think somehow you're going to have Superman return. He's going to realize Black Adam is a threat and ask Shazam for Shazam's help to battle Black Adam. So you're going to get Superman, Shazam versus Black Adam in a sequel movie, whether that's Black Adam 2 or whatever. But I have a feeling that's a way you could like tie them together.
Yeah, they could do the Return of Black Adam movie between Shazam and Superman if they wanted to, and throw it on the big screen.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I would do that. Could you, dude? I couldn't even. Could you imagine seeing the three of them in a fight scene,
dude.
like oh my god, dude! Like, I'm already picturing it. It's gorgeous.
I could too. It is gorgeous. Take it straight out of the comics, throw it up there on the big screen, and let us just enjoy. Especially with the high caliber, actors that are going to be holding the mantle for these characters. All three of them on the screen at once. Insane.
And now I'm kind of curious to know, I heard that the Shazam sequel is called Fury of the Gods.
Yes.
So I wonder, they're going to have, somehow there's going to be some sort of tie-in with Black Adam.
Is.
And I
there
feel
has
like
to be.
That title for Shazam is somehow bringing that in. Whether like Hawkman and Dr. Fate, what if they side with Black Adam at the end?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it's them versus Superman and Shazam, or whoever. And oh man, I'm super pumped for what they're going to do with that whole world.
It's true, because if you think about it, Hawkman is also, he's similar to Black Adam with his mindset. Yeah, he's more of a justice type in the Justice League animated series and stuff, but in the comics, when it comes to his beliefs and where he's from, he does what's necessary, and then also, Dr. Fate, he'll step in here and there, but as it pertains to the timeline and things happening, he likes things to happen the way they're supposed to. So they kind of have similar mindsets in the way, their justice is kind of served. So
yeah,
you're right. You might have a good idea. Maybe they do end up siding with Black Adam.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah.
I know that's something I'd be curious to see. That'd be really cool. But I have a theory that Superman's going to come in, but it's also, they're going to tie in Shazam at some point, and I think that'd be a really, I don't know. I just why wouldn't you do something like that?
Especially when
Shazam, Superman versus Black Adam.
In the first Shazam movie, they teased Black Adam's seat, and then
yes, and that they had that. Remember in the beginning of the movie where it was Mark Strong's character, the villain, when he was a child, and he was in the cave. And then there was, the wizard had told him there was someone before you, and it was Black Adam. And remember, when it was sort of made out of dust or sparkles or something like that, it looked like Dwayne Johnson.
It did, yeah.
So I have a feeling because Dwayne has been cast as Black Adam for freaking years,
4 or 5 years now, yeah.
So I really feel like there has been communication between Dwayne Johnson, what's his name? David Sandberg, who directed Shazam. There's been communication with all of them, and eventually I think they're going to tie everything together. I can't see Shazam and Black Adam never.
They're going to. It's the reason why I think, especially after the success of Shazam and you have
Yeah.
Zachary Levi, holding that mantle. I think it's just leading up to a big movie where it's Shazam versus Black Adam and maybe Superman in it. And I think that just gives you the star power for an excellent movie. That's like the Batman versus Superman everyone wanted. It'll be but it'll be Shazam and Black Adam because you let the movies prove their worth and their significance and how good they are. And then if Black Adam is well received, you go that route. And then you have characters from two well received films going head to head, and it's gold.
Oh man, I very, very excited for that. And I'm trying to think. Gosh, what else was there? I know.
So I want to do this route. I want to go Snyder Cut and then the Batman because I think I'm ready to talk about both of those things. Yeah. I think it's the Snyder Cut, that trailer they had, it leaked somehow. I watched it way before it aired. At,
of course.
I think it was like 5:45, 6 o'clock. No, I think it was 5:45 where it came. We're on the DC Fandome timeline, but I saw a trailer at like 1:30, and I'm like, okay, this is new. I wonder if this is the trailer, and it was. But it looks like a completely different film. The amount of footage they must have shot and not used is unreal, especially because they're doing 4 1-hour segments for the Snyder Cut. And they're also going to do, they're trying to figure out a way to make it one whole movie for some people to watch. If they just want to go 4 hours through, which is great because I might rather do that. I don't think I would watch that in 4 different parts. I'd probably just watch it straight through 4 hours and just enjoy every bit of it.
Same. I'd rather do that, I think, too.
But it just looks darker. It looks more like the Justice League that, we were leading up to, but didn't get, obviously. The Justice League we got, there's comedy in it, a lot of like unneeded jokes, kind of like the way Guardians of the Galaxy 2 for me was. There was a lot of unneeded jokes and forceful jokes that made me like it less, because with a cast like, I know I'm going on a little tangent, but the cast you have for Guardians 2, they're funny as it is, so there's no reason to force jokes. And I feel like that's the route, Josh Whedon took with that Justice League. There was many instances where there was jokes that were unneeded, especially with, Batman, with Ben Affleck's character. Like, he does have, like, whimsical shots here and there, but not like the weird funny moments that he had in that film. I know you can go off if you want, but...
Yeah, a movie, like... Listen, Zack Snyder has become one of my favorite people. I think honestly, I think he's my, I don't know if people still use that phrase, spirit animal, but that dude is my spirit animal. I have so much more respect for Zack Snyder. Not that I didn't respect him before. I mean, I know I've been on the show before where I was just like, very disappointed in the theatrical version of Batman v Superman. And then once I watched the Ultimate Edition, I absolutely love that movie. I really, really do. I really enjoy that movie a lot. I'm so happy for him that he gets to finish what he started. He's just such a badass. I mean, he is not a stranger to like answering fans on Twitter. People are like, the whole Superman asking Batman, do you bleed? And then Zack Snyder's like, fuck no, I'm not going to have it. He's like, that doesn't even make any sense. And I was like, this guy is the best. Like, he's so great. And he actually has never watched the Justice League theatrical movie that Joss Whedon finished. He refuses to watch it. And he actually, if you ever see it online, when they had that Justice Con, he had said that he would never fucking watch that movie ever. He would never use any of what they released. Like he was pissed. I mean, you could tell because he's fucking passionate about these characters. And when he said that these characters are bigger than any of us and they will continue to be bigger than any of us for years to come, and people will take these characters and do their thing with it, he had a vision, just like any comic book writer or illustrator has a vision for these characters that have stood the test of time. Zack Snyder was like, oh, okay, let me grab these characters that people are familiar with. I have my own story arc, and here's mine. just like Chris Nolan did for his Batman. He's like, I have an idea. Everybody's familiar with Batman, right? Cool, cool, cool. I'm going to do my Batman like this. Poof, there you go. And same that Joel Schumacher did and same that Tim Burton did, they took these characters and they had a vision. And, you know, the Justice League theatrical cut, it was just a piece of hot garbage that WB released to fucking try to make whatever money they could. And it blew up in their face. That should have been $1 billion film. You have Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and The Flash and Aquaman in one movie, and nobody wanted to see it.
Well,
nobody saw it.
The problem is they're thinking, which I'm speculating, but they're thinking, well, Marvel does funny stuff. Why don't why don't we do that? You know, why don't we be funny in this movie? And
it didn't work.
You know, you already set up a shared universe with, you know, serious, darker characters. You can't just, you know, flip the switch and say, all right, they're dark and stuff, but now let's be funny. You know, with Thor, you know, if you look at Thor's movies, you know, he started off like kind of serious, but then you saw him evolve into what he is now, which is, you know, a little funnier, you know,
sure,
but not too much. And, you know, it's just, that was a gradual change. This was just like, all right, Batman was really fucking serious in Batman vs Superman. He's gonna make one-liners all day in this Justice League film. Like, he didn't do that. You know, he didn't do that in the last one at all. But then you go into Justice League, and he just hit one-liners.
It made no fucking sense.
And I feel bad because, you know, like with Ray Fisher, like Cyborg, you know, his character didn't see much light of day. Neither did, you know, Barry Allen as the Flash, you know, with Ezra Miller. It's just, they were just quickly thrown out there. And the problem is, again, you know, I get why they, you know, they want to make a Justice League movie, but these people should have had, you know, one-off movies to begin with so people can learn about them. Especially because if you take people who are fans of Marvel that don't read comics, that aren't into, like, you know, superheroes past the movies, they know who these characters were. And, you know, Marvel didn't just throw the Avengers out there and say, oh, here's all these characters. No, they built into that. How many movies did it take before they had the first Avengers movie?
Exactly.
A ton. So, like, for them to just jump at this Justice League and then release it the way they did and cut everything out, obviously, you know, with Snyder having a 4-hour movie, obviously that's not, like, plausible for, you know, movie theater releases, but maybe they should have gone closer to that time frame. Maybe they should have put more into it, because like you said with the unedited cut for, you know, Batman vs Superman, you loved it a lot and you hated the theatrical cut. So, like, there's things that, you know, directors have a vision for, and maybe you know, Zack Snyder should have scaled it down a little bit, and he didn't, and that could have been a problem too. Sure. But if a director has a vision, they know what they're going for. So sometimes you gotta, you know, lead more towards what they're doing. And yes, I know you have to, as a company, you have to make sure that they're not pushing out 4 or 5 hour movies all the time, because you could get to that point because directors don't want to cut what they shot and what they wrote and what was written down. And, you know, there needs to be that, but to an extent, because you can tell how much that was needed, that was cut from this Justice League movie that wasn't added, because there's so much footage and there's a lot of stuff that I'm excited for through that trailer.
I can't wait to see this. I am so excited to see this. I agree. They had a tone from Man of Steel. They had a tone, and they should have stuck with it. And I think they got, you know, cold feet, and they were so worried about, you know, competing with Marvel, and instead of just like standing their ground and trying to realize we're something different, and let's be different. And it should, and that's a problem. I don't know why, because I think, you know, these studios, that they're businesses, and I get it, and a business needs to make money, and that's what they want to do. It's a shame that, like, it turned into a competition between the two. Yes. Like, I mean, for like the fan base, we don't care. We're getting more from both, and we want that to keep happening because we love it. And it shouldn't be like you're on one side or the other. That doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm just happy that he gets to complete his project. I love how the actors and actresses are standing beside him, and they can't wait for this to be shown. Now, if they're doing it as as 4 1 hour chunks or episodes? Is it like a weekly thing they're releasing?
I don't know. I hope not. I think they're still trying to iron that out, but I hope not. I want everything available right from the get-go because I don't want to like wait a week, watch an hour, wait a week, watch an hour, wait a week. If that was the case, I would just watch it when everything's out, sit there for all 4 hours and just enjoy it.
Same. I'd rather do that as well. So I guess we'll wait and see for that. But I mean, just from the way that like Steppenwolf looks, there's not a digital upper lip on Henry Cavill, and that's fantastic. I gave Ezra Miller's Flash a lot of shit, and I do think that a lot of it was the writing, was the forced jokes that you had mentioned. They made Barry Allen come off like this, little timid kid who did these, little, he was the comic relief, and I'm going to do these like really silly, goofy jokes, and like that one joke, man, where in the Joss Whedon version, where he says it's like a cave, it's like a bat cave. I was like, holy fuck! Like someone wrote that. Someone actually wrote that, and then collected a paycheck, and then someone said it, and then they did it in the movie, and everyone went, yeah, no, that felt right. That felt good, guys. That felt real good. You get it because it is a cave, but it's a bat cave because it's Batman. Like, does everybody get that? Cool. Well, all the corporate guys with their ties and shit are like, yeah, that sounds great. Like, so I agree with Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder, he's like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? This is not what I wanted at all. And I am so happy for him, and I cannot wait to see his version of Justice League. I think it's gonna be badass. I really do. I think it's gonna be badass, and I can't wait.
And then let's
Sorry for all the F words.
That's all right. Let's transition into the main event of DC Fandome, the Batman. Because first off, Matt Reeves was so excited to be in that panel, and he could have gone probably for 2 hours just talking about this film. Oh, yeah. And he was so excited. He's oozing passion the whole time. And you knew he was pumped up to show that freaking teaser trailer because the smile on his face right before they cut it was priceless. And not going to lie, that trailer was, I'm getting goosebumps again, epic. To say the least, epic. I don't even know, like, I watched it, I think 5 or 6 times. Not probably as many times as you watched it, Kev.
I don't want to say how many times I watched it.
But just to see, the Batsuit looks great. The whole monologue with the Riddler throughout the trailer was so eerie and creepy, but perfect at the same time. It's only 25% shot.
I can't believe that.
And it looks the way it does, sounds the way it does, and has all those scenes in it already. And I'm like, this is going to be possibly the best Batman film we've seen on the big screen.
Oh man, I can't tell you how excited I am. I mean, my face hurts from smiling so much.
Dude, what did you think? So, quick question.
Yeah.
Before we seen anything, you heard the tape, and you saw the DC logo push forward or push back, and there was another logo that pushed forward or back.
The WB logo.
Yeah, it was the WB. What do you think was going on at that moment? I'm like, what? Like, what could possibly be happening with tape? And I was like, maybe it's Batman, like, taping up his boots or something. Like, he's, like, some kind of wrestler. But then you see the Riddler taping up some guy's face with, what was it?
Duct tape.
No, but the saying, what did he write on it? Like,
no more lies.
No more lies. No more lies. Chills right off the bat. I'm like, this is awesome. Mm-hmm. What'd you think of the Riddler's look, by the way? I know we spoke about this off camera.
I love it. I love everything. I know everyone's like, of course you would say that. The feeling that this trailer gave me is exactly, I think, selfishly what I've been wanting for a Batman movie. The way that the trailer starts, I think, sets the tone for what we're gonna get.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna get something dark, intense. I hate using this word because I think it's so overused, but gritty. I think we're gonna get something we have never seen before, which is great. Which I think is what we wanted, right? I mean, you wanted something different. You didn't want to see Nolan's films done again. You didn't want to see Tim Burton's films done again. You didn't want to see Joel Schumacher's films done again.
I could have seen
rest in peace. Rest in peace, Joel Schumacher.
I could have seen a few more
great movies, but
I could see a few more Nolan films though. I could have seen some more of those push out.
Yeah, if he had the stories in him, and if he had great stories that he wanted to tell, for sure. But that was done. That was done. His trilogy was done, and I just rewatched it not too long ago, and it's still incredible, and it will always be incredible. But now we're in 2021 when this film is coming out, and it's time for something different. Yeah, and that's exactly what we're getting. The way Matt Reeves talked about, which has me so excited for, and something that we've never seen, is it sounds as if, and I've read articles before, of course, because I'm a nut job when it comes to Batman, and him focusing on the psychology of Bruce and just how screwed up Bruce is mentally after witnessing his parents murdered in front of him, and then wanting to take on this mantle as a masked vigilante to have a bat represent what he is trying to show, but to really dive into his mental state, and with Robert Pattinson only being 34, just to see this young Batman, this young Bruce, battling with his inner demons, but somehow no, this is what I need to do, and how Matt Reeves said that we're going to see a Batman that's going to make mistakes, and I'm we've never seen, you know what I mean? We're so used to seeing Batman just one step ahead of everyone, and now I think we're going to see a Batman that's still just trying to understand the Batman that he wants to become. We've never seen that before.
Wow. This is year 2. This is he's not a veteran anymore. He's still trying to get his grasp. Which, to side note a little bit, it's exciting to know that, Gotham PD is going to be year 1 of Batman, and from there. Yeah. But for year 2, to to focus on his, mental state, it's brilliant to have the Riddler, be the main villain for this, because that man is a mind manipulator, and he's going to, attack Bruce mentally, and you could tell it by the little note cards he leaves him, and it's going to be exciting to see what kind of challenges and what kind of games the Riddler is going to play with Batman. I honestly, with the Riddler, it's not your traditional Riddler look, but I hope they don't go the traditional Riddler look, because I like how he looks in the trailer, and I feel like putting a bright green suit on with some question marks is not the way to go with this.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see that.
No, I don't think so either. It's cool because in year 2 for me in the trailer, he's in the crime scene with the GCPD, which is, it seems a bit early for Batman to be in cahoots with the GCPD, but it's still interesting because you have that one moment where he's trying to fight a cop in the interrogation room. There's some interesting stuff going on, especially because it's known that the GCPD is corrupt, and I think that's going to play a factor in this film as well.
For sure. I thought that too. Right off the bat, when you first watch the trailer, it's a lot to digest, and with that scene where Gordon, and I don't think Gordon is the commissioner yet. Obviously, no. He's a respected. I don't know if he's a lieutenant or what, but. To see maybe Gordon and Batman are starting to develop a little bit of a relationship. But, in that scene where the camera's behind Gordon's head, he's walking down the hall and the police are looking back at someone, I'm assuming it's Batman, you can kind of see they have this very reserved look. That scene that you were mentioning at the GCPD where it looks like Batman goes after, maybe a corrupt police officer that he knows is corrupt and no one's listening to him, and to have Gordon, push him against the gate, we've never seen that before. I mean, that's I just love seeing this young Batman who's just he's acting on his emotions first. Yes. And I'm saying that in a way where it's that's not the way he's supposed to do it, but he's still young.
He's still learning.
Exactly.
He's still finding his way. And it's, it's also neat just to think about it, because in every other Batman film, he's always been that like scary figure who overpowers everyone. But in this film, like you said, you see Gordon push him up against the wall. So the GCPD's not intimidated by him that much, obviously, or at least some people.
Yeah.
And they're showing that they're more dominant or more powerful than this Batman at this time because they're not afraid of him yet. So
I'm so glad you said that. That is Ty, that's brilliant. Your Batman is always the menacing figure.
Yeah.
You're right. And to see where it's just like no one is really, not even the authorities are taking him seriously right now.
Not even what I say is the Joker gang. It's probably not. But they even go up to him like, who are you? Like, what are you wearing? And then he beats the shit out of this guy and goes, I'm vengeance. I'm like, yes, this is awesome. And the looks on all their faces, because they shoot a shot at them while he's still pummeling this guy, and they're just like, fantastic.
Let's talk about that scene. I don't know how many times I like rewound that scene,
dude,
when watching it.
Dude, like the fast movements real quick and the punches and then just goes down on him. I'm like, dude, great.
Like, it's pure silence. All you hear is the punches and like him like breaking his arm or something. And I don't know. Of course, like no matter what Batman you cast, you're gonna have the haters. And I was like, when every outlet was putting the trailer over Instagram and this and that, I would look at the comments just because I'm like, oh, here we go. Let's see how many of the barf emoji faces we get or the thumbs down. And hey, it is what it is. And there was a few, but what are you gonna? You can't make everybody happy. Whatever. Nobody liked Ben Affleck, right? Now they all love him. So I am so glad Matt Reeves included that scene in the trailer because I would hope that would just shut everybody up and realize like Robert Pattinson is going to give us something incredible. Yeah. He's an incredible actor, and he's going to bring something completely different than any other Bruce Wayne or Batman we've ever had. And I have to tell you, dude, I can't wait for his portrayal of Batman. I have such a good feeling.
I do too. Him. That trailer, man, that was like the same, the same vibes, the same, chilling effect I had when I saw the trailer for Dark Knight. Like, that's why I'm so excited about this, because the last time I felt that way was for that movie's trailer. And look how great that freaking movie was with Heath Ledger murdering it as the Joker. I feel very good about this trailer. I feel very good about this movie. And again, I'm going to say it again, it's only 25% shot and done. So, like, to see that with that little amount, thrown together is exciting.
I know. How about Colin Farrell as the Penguin, dude? That prosthetic work is unbelievable.
And how about Zoe Kravitz
even look like him
as Selena Kyle with, she's not Catwoman yet, but how we spoke about her like ski mask had like the little indents to look like cat ears. That's brilliant. That's
so smart.
It's just master craftsman when you're going from a comic to a big screen. Like little things like that is the best thing you can do for comic book films.
I know.
So smart.
I know. And it's great. It's great when you have someone like Matt Reeves, who, we had talked off camera just about how passionate he is. And you could see how, like, his giddiness and excitement had me over here, like, I'm just as excited as you, man. Like, and watching the trailer, like, I put it on the TV and I felt it just, I don't know, man. I didn't know what to expect. That's what I was telling you beforehand. Like, I don't know what kind of Batman movie we're going to get. I've seen Matt Reeves' previous films, and I love Matt Reeves' previous films. And if I could think of any director based off of what he's done in the past to direct a Batman movie, Matt Reeves would be the guy to come to mind. And I still didn't know what a Matt Reeves Batman movie looked like. And now we got, 2.5 minutes of what it's going to look like. And I couldn't be happier. I could not be happier. One last thing. Oh, sorry.
You forgot to mention one big thing that you spoke to me about was the pastel.
Oh, that's what I was just going to say.
Oh.
there you go. But that I don't know. That was just something little. I had talked to Marcus about that, the one day how, we all know that's what they do. And then in Batman Returns, Batman v Superman, there's scenes where the cowl is removed and all of a sudden the black's gone. And Matt Reeves was like, no. This is okay. I envision Bruce before he leaves. He's just going to do this real quick with some black, put the cowl on, and head out. And when he comes home, he's going to take it off. Guess what? His hair's not going to be perfect. He's going to be sweaty and a mess, and it's going to be all down his face, and he's going to be bruised and bleeding. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly how he would be if someone was like doing stuff like this.
And not look like the pristine model when he's taking off the cowl, and he's just like, oh, I just took a shower. I ain't got no sweat. There's no black on my eyes, like.
Exactly. We're going to have the most grounded, realistic Batman movie, noir, detective film that we've ever seen.
And I think it's going to be great because it's going, not only is it going to affect, Bruce Wayne's mental state, it's going to mess with our minds too. I guarantee the whole film is going to be messing with us as well. And that's what I'm most excited for, because not only is technically Riddler, messing with Batman, I think the film is going to have Riddler messing with us as well, and that's why I'm so excited.
Oh, I can't wait. There's going to be so many twists and turns. Yeah. I hope this thing's like 8 hours long.
Oh, I could sit there for it.
I really do. We got a little taste of Andy Serkis's Alfred. It was just a voiceover.
It was good.
He said,
I liked it.
You're turning into like a celebrity or something like that. Andy Serkis sounds a lot cooler than I do. But I'm really curious to know like what their outfit's going to be like. Is it going to be an outfit that's like, Bruce, like, what are you doing? Like, this is crazy. I have a feeling we might get that, but I really want to see, because we haven't seen this yet in Alfred, similar to those Earth 1 comics where Alfred, he's the one that trains Bruce how to fight.
Yeah.
I want to see that Alfred. And I feel like Andy Serkis, if you're going to do him, just after seeing his role as a Claw in Black Panther, I would love to see an Alfred, like, training a young Bruce, like, how to defend himself. Like, I think that would be cool.
I agree.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Well, on that note, people, give us your thoughts on DC Fandom. What was your favorite moments? What was your least favorite moments? We didn't really talk about, like, bad moments because there was so much good, besides the little claymation interrupts they had, which was... That's what I hated. I was like, get this shit out of here. But, again, give us your thoughts. What you liked, what you didn't like, what you think could have improved, or what you think would have grabbed you more as a fan. I was thoroughly happy.
I think it was a success.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing was a success. I'm sure you could agree. I miss San Diego Comic-Con, and I know we're not physically there, but seeing the panels on YouTube and hearing the fans chant and scream, and like, I miss that. And one day we'll get back to that. But I have to say, this was a pretty unique thing, pretty cool. And I think it was very successful.
I agree. Yeah. So write in those comments, give us your thoughts. Make sure to like and subscribe because you want to support this guy and that guy. And as always, thank you for watching. Kev?
Empty beer. Sorry.
Same. Cheers.
Shit.